Hello and good morning. We're checking in over at Port Orleans Riverside. Port Orleans is a really cool resort at Disney because there's two Port Orleans. We have Port Orleans Riverside, Port Orleans French Quarter. They're two different resorts, but you can walk to them back and forth and have a little bit of the same, I don't know, vibe, kind of. So they're both sort of old Southern charm. French Quarter is more of the French Quarter down in New Orleans, and Riverside feels more like Louisiana at large, I suppose. Another huge difference is that Port Orleans Riverside is sprawling. It is giant. This place is huge. There's so many areas to walk around, hammocks that you can swing in. I'll show you all of that stuff. It's really wonderful. And then French Quarter is much, much smaller. Both of them have a pool. Both pools have a slide. These are moderate resorts. So let's get after it and see what's what.
Step into the charm and romance of the American South at Disney's Port Orleans Riverside Resort. This is one of Walt Disney World's most scenic and relaxing moderate resorts. Here we'll take you on a full tour of everything from walking over to Port Orleans French Quarter to looking at the different entertainment options and food options that they have here at Riverside.
This is the front lobby reception area that we really don't use too much at Disney resorts anymore because now all the check-in is primarily done mobilely. This is where you will come to ask questions if you have any issues. It's really cute. Some fans up there. Also during the holidays, this place is well decorated, as are all of the Disney resorts.
Welcome to Boatwright's Dining Hall, the signature table service restaurant at Disney's Port Orleans Riverside. It is open for dinner only from about 5 to around 9 and offers classic Southern and Cajun-inspired dishes in a relaxed shipyard setting. As a reminder, the menus can change and what's available for gluten-free today may differ tomorrow, so always confirm with the cast member or chef at the time of your dining. At the time of our dining, an example of items listed on the allergy menu were jambalaya, prime rib, grilled salmon, and you even get to start with gluten-free cornbread. I usually advise people to make reservations here because once you do, you can email Disney Special Diets and ask if the Mardi Gras fritters can be made gluten-free. They are one of a kind and a true treat for those of us afflicted with the no to gluten systems. Is there anything for gluten-free and vegan? Well, yes, there is. This is the Creole and lentil chorizo plate, and it was yummy. I personally opted for the French onion soup because, well, why not? And then we ended with a glorious dessert. This is a gluten-free and vegan pecan pie. Oh my, how I want this pie. Another really neat activity that they have at Riverside is that each night there will be horse and carriages that come around to take people on a stroll, a ride around the entire resort. It is something that you have to sign up for ahead of time, but it's just magical.
Okay, some of the really big charm features of this is each night from 5:30 to 9:30, you get $65. You can do a horse and carriage ride. So that sign is right here behind me. They have two horse and carriages that come out here. There's a number on the sign that you can book ahead of time, but that is always really super cute. It goes around a lot of the resort and just the clip-clopping, I don't know, it's really neat. But the other piece that I wanted to point out is that this is one of the resorts with boat transportation. So you can see behind me, they have the boats here. These boats will go from this resort over to French Quarter. You can also walk over to French Quarter, which is probably about a 10 to 15 minute walk. Or you can take the boat, but the boats also go to Disney Springs. So when we stay here, we can hop on the boat, go over to Disney Springs, grab some food, do whatever, walk around, shopping, and then we can come back over. Or sometimes we like to go from Disney Springs over to French Quarter to get beignets, and then hop back over here. One more thing that I wanted to point out is that over here, let me turn you around, you can kind of see them, but right at the end here, there is the Surrey, I think it's called Surrey bikes, but you can rent the bikes for 2 to 4 people, and then it goes, you take them around the resort. So if you're just kind of hanging out and you're like, gosh, it's a super hot day. Is there a way that I could possibly sweat more? The answer is yes. You could rent a bike for $4 and sweat as much as you want. See there? So that's something. Look at how peaceful. I love it. So as we're just walking around, there are a couple of different types of rooms here. They have standard rooms. They also have royal rooms. So royal rooms have like the headboard behind it, the backdrop. You can push a button and it looks like there's fireworks going off in there, and it's decorated like royalty. So if you have a little prince or princess, or you just want to feel oh so Disney charmed, that is where you can go. There is also a whole nother area, which is much farther away, sort of in the back, and it almost has a cabin feel to it. So these are, the buildings back there are only 2 stories compared to some of the other ones that are 3 stories. And they have some that are 5th sleepers, and that's the one that we get. So there's 2 queen-size beds and then a 5th sleeper that pulls down from the wall. That's the equivalent of a twin-size bed. And we really like that because then it gives the kids options where if they don't want to share a bed, sometimes they don't, kids will be kids, then one of them can sleep in there. And they think it's magical and amazing. So we really like that part too. We have over here one of the more relaxing areas of Riverside. Both children are right now chilling out in hammocks. There's some some rooms down here. This is where our building is, down over there, the Alligator Bayou. And then over here, this way, if we walk, we get to the playground and the pool, and the lobby, and all that stuff. Over here, we have the fishing hole, open from 7 to 1:45. It's about $6 or so for a half an hour. And you get a pole, some live worms, and then you can go fishing. The catch and release only, and you do have to bait it yourself, which is when I brought my kiddo because he has always wanted to try and go fishing over there. He opened up the live worm bait and said, nope. So that was it. Okay, this is the playground area. It's a good time to film because it's the middle of the day, so it's super hot. Most people are in the pool. My girl wants to go on the playground. Here she is, playing rock climbing, something. Just a nice, easy day. Okay. Look at that. There we go. Okay, over here is Old Man Island. That is the name of the pool. This is one of 5 pools on property. This is the big pool with the slide, the main pool area in the center of the property. The other pools are closer to some of the buildings, and they are a bit more like quiet pools, just kind of your standard rectangular pool. There is the Muddy Rivers bar, I believe over there, that's kind of the pool bar. So the pool bar over here has, for food, for us, it would be boiled peanuts. The other things that they have, like they have a prepackaged charcuterie board, which would not be for us because it is prepackaged and it's not, the components in it are not gluten-free. You can just run inside those with a quick serve, which I will show you in a moment. And the quick serve here does have, you can mobile order allergy items or order in person, whatever your flavor is. But the pool bar here also has a water bottle refill station to note, right? And then bathrooms and drinks and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, pool area.
If you're staying on property at a Disney resort, I highly encourage you to take a look at the daily activities. In addition to the nightly campfires, they will also have a few days of outdoor movies, arts and crafts, and pool activities, and fun and games. We love this aspect, and it's one of the things that keeps us returning for more and more staycations.
Hey, one of our favorite activities that we do whenever we do staycations at Disney is campfire. I actually don't know if every resort does it, but most of them do. It's in this little area right here. They will have a little table set up. Marshmallows, you can purchase s'mores kits if you want, but the marshmallows are free. You get a little stick and a campfire, and everybody stands around and has a smushy good time. Super cute.
You'll see here we have an allergy-friendly snack zone with a variety of sweet treats located at one end of the quick service. Then we find our grab and go section. You can usually find something here like a salad, hard-boiled eggs, or fruit from this area if you are in need. Oh, and pickles. They definitely have pickles.
Quick Serve Riverside Mills Food Court. They do breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and they are open quite late, actually, till about 11 o'clock at night. You can get a variety of things there. They have chicken tenders, pizza, sandwiches, burgers, salads, all that kind of stuff. But also, if you see something on the menu that you're just kind of curious about and it is not listed on the allergy menu, I would just ask for a chef. They do have a little area tucked away by the bakery, and it says allergy orders here. And so if you go over there and ask to speak to a chef, somebody comes out and he can kind of walk you through different options. This is always what my recommendation is if you have multiple allergies or if you want something specially made. So I really would like the andouille sausage. There's like an andouille hot dog sausage that has andouille and peppers and onions and then some kind of a Creole remoulade. I really want to try that, so I'm gonna ask if that can be gluten-free. And just really, I don't know, anything else you want. Or if you have a kid, sometimes like for my kid, I'll go, my kid doesn't really eat this or this, but they will eat this. Sometimes the chefs are like, yeah, I've got something back there and I can work with you on that. So that is always an option. I guess the moral of the story is don't be afraid to ask, just ask what you want or what you need, and they will do their best to make that happen. So, Riverside Mills Food Court, quick serve. The other thing that you can do if you're staying at Port Orleans Riverside is you can walk on over to Port Orleans French Quarter. There is another quick serve here. There's no sit-down table serve restaurant, but they do have a quick serve that it pretty much mirrors what's over at Riverside, so you have both. But we also have the gluten-free vegan beignets.
The hidden gem that you cannot miss, gluten-free and vegan beignets. And yes, they are made in a dedicated fryer. There aren't your typical Mickey-shaped beignets, and in fact, if you get Mickey-shaped ones, you know that they are not gluten-free. Instead, you get soft, fluffy, pillow-shaped treats that are crispy on the outside, chewy, and warm on the inside, all generously dusted in powdered sugar.
Here are my people eating some of them right now. I think some of the... Also next door, we have Scat Cat's Love Lounge. This is where you will find Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday live jazz with a Disney flair. Currently having a private event, so we're not going to go in there, but there is a full bar in there. There's also some treats. They have some savory beignets, wings, things like that. And then he's had too much sugar. Oh, okay. It's a nice little perk.
As soon as you step into the Scat Cat's Club Lounge, you're welcomed by vintage nods to Mardi Gras, things like masks, beads, brass instruments, and art inspired by the Aristocats, whose Scat Cat lends its name to this place. You'll notice that there's arched windows, glittering chandeliers, deep booths, low lighting, all to evoke that classic jazz vibes. But it's not just a lounge, it's a cafe as well. As you can see, there's a variety of things that you can order, and yes, you can ask for some of them to be gluten-free. You can also get beignets in here, which makes this a lovely spot for family or date night.
Welcome to the bar here. This is River Roost. We've got some stuff on the wall showing us what to expect when you go in. It is not open right now. It does not open until 5 o'clock tonight. I can show you what this whole area looks like. There's lots of seating. Have a drink fire up, and as we will see, this is where Yeeha Bob plays. That piano right there. And this is where we like to sit, right up front. Oh, can't wait to show you the show. Okay, over at River Roost, there's not a ton of options. As you just saw, the bar menu is pretty limited. But items that you can get on here that are gluten-free are charcuterie board. Sometimes they will do the nachos gluten-free. It kind of depends, but those are andouille nachos, the wings, and then the Cajun shrimp. So it's actually pretty decent. Drinks here are usually flowing, and Bob gets the crowd a kicking like you will not believe.
Yeeha Bob's performances are a lively mix of live piano, comedy, sing-along classics, and full audience participation. Expect laughter, clapping, dancing, and movements where he names guests, sometimes recalling where they're from or celebrating a birthday or special event. His memory and showmanship are all part of the magic. His sets usually begin around 8:30 p.m. and run late into the evening. Bob has been here since the late 1990s, turning this lounge into a must-see nightly destination.
Got it. Wow.
Well, thank you for joining us on our fabulous, it really was fabulous. Oh my God, it was so fabulous. Staycation over at Port Orleans Riverside. This was for my partner's birthday, and it is the same resort that I chose for my birthday last year, so clearly we love it. We were so very fortunate this time to have my sister and her family join us, and it was their first Disney resort that they stayed at, and I think they're in, you guys. I think we converted because everybody had such a wonderful time. There's so much to do: jazz, Yeeha Bob, pool, arts activities, Mickey tie-dye t-shirts. I don't know. The list goes on and on and on. So highly recommend this. Also, if you are coming down to Florida and you need a place to stay because you're going on a cruise, and a lot of that happens, this would be fabulous because it's so peaceful and just so relaxing, and that is a really nice way to kind of enter in to your cruise time, your cruise world, the next part of your vacay. You know what I mean? Hey, if you've got questions about any of this, please leave me some comments and I'll be happy to answer them. And if you need any guides, gluten-free guides to the parks themselves, Epcot, I mean, say Universal. Epcot, Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, every eatery, every food stand, every quick serve, every table serve, Hit me up on my website at glutenfreewdw.com. Oh my gosh, thanks for joining us. Till next time, cheers.
Big finish.